All right, welcome in. We are in the hundreds episodes of the podcast. We've reached episode 101 now. There's never been anybody that's played that's worn the number 101. Last episode, I guess we could have called it the 100th, the Wilt Chamberlain episode. We didn't name it last week. I didn't kind of just got into the groove and spaced it out, but if we reach 20,000, we can have another Wilt Chamberlain episode. For those of you wondering why 20,000 with a Wilt Chamberlain episode, the internet is free. I will let you go and check it out and see for yourself. Yeah. That in some relations, yes. And we've got a World Series matchup. We've got the week 7 recap in the NFL. We are back to doing that after last week's episode. We decided to change it up, but we're back on schedule. A week 8, college football recap. And then we also will be previewing the weeks ahead in the NFL as well. And as always, we're going to wrap up with Curveball of the Week. Ethan has that, so I bet you it's going to be a fire question. But before we get into this, I suppose people are going to wonder what my thoughts are on the witch hunt, the despicable actions that the NCAA is trying to do to a former veteran who defended our country, fought for our freedom, Connor Stallions, a Marine. Thank you for your service, Connor. And this is disgusting. This rule that they are accusing Michigan of doing. It's because of poverty programs like Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan State. Can't handle Michigan being better than them. Michigan whooping their butt for the last 3 years. Go cry about it, Ohio State. It doesn't matter. Maybe we did steal signs. Maybe we didn't. You still got to stop it. If we go back, like we're about to get in North Dakota here, we're about to get about a foot of snow. Go back to November of 2021. Everybody knew Michigan was running the ball. You knew it. Everybody in the stadium knew it. Everybody watching it on TV knew it. And you couldn't stop it. You still got to make the plays. This is still an ongoing investigation. We'll see what happens. But let's go with start with our week 7 in the NFL, our surprise teams. Whoa. And, as always, the draft is back. So picking one is, would you look at that? Me. And then.
Dylan, you're a little spicy. You might need to bring it down.
I'm just having fun. Just having fun here.
Okay.
And number 2 is the Vikings coming off a win. And, as you guys can see, it usually does happen, but Grant will be picking 3, but it usually does.
Oh, it's probably. I never win.
Well, you're picking 2, so.
It's still not good enough.
Have you ever picked 1 yet?
No.
Oh, wow.
All I've done is pick 1.
I'm sad.
No kidding.
I'm
that's
sad.
all it seems like that's all I do.
Okay, well, it's a good thing we're not keeping standings of this.
Just rub it in.
Yep. Well, you know who is not who is also not number 1 this week in the Floyd of Rosedale trophy?
Yeah.
Grant. And that's why they are separate. They actually planned on doing the podcast together, and it would have been great because they also could have come up with the similar handshake that Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes have. But since there's been such a point of contention between these two, they decided it was best, not really for the podcast, but for those two's Grant's mental health, because he not only has to watch Iowa play offense every week, he also has to listen to Ethan rub it in for the next at least year that Floyd is back in Minnesota. So, but we'll get to our college recap in a little bit here. But so surprise team of the week here, and you know what? This is one of the weeks when I was making my notes for this, boys, because I always pick about 3 because you never know who we're all gonna pick. But this week, when I was looking at the surprise, disappointings, told you so teams, this was a fairly easy, some easy picks here. So I'm going to go with our most recent game that was played. I'm going to go to the East, who I'm never thought I'd say this, but I'm a little bit jealous because they aren't getting a foot of snow in about 12 hours. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. I think they have found a running back in Cam Akers. I hope they they slowly worked him in the last couple of weeks, and this week when he ran the ball, he ran hard. He looked pre torn Achilles. Cam Akers, he's more effective running back than Madison. Still looking for that first rushing touchdown of the year. They did a great job of containing Nick Bosa, and if you guys watched the Manning cast, there was a big highlight of him being on the sideline and talking about certain plays that they would run with him out. And but it didn't even make a difference. They did a great job of keeping him in check, giving Kirk Cousins time. And I think we need to put to bed that Kirk isn't a primetime player. Kirk Cousins was 35 of 45, 378, 2 touchdowns, and made the plays that he had to. After that first interception.
Without Justin Jefferson, let's add that.
And without Justin Jefferson.
He made Brandon Powell look like an NFL receiver.
Yep. And then the defense came around. They made 2 fourth-quarter interceptions. And, right now it looked like the Vikings were dead, but they have come back to life. They are 3-4 with really the teeth of their schedule behind them, and they could look to go on a run here. Ethan and I picked the Vikings to win the NFC North, and right now we're feeling not ready to just go that far and say they're going to surpass the Lions, because although the Lions had a setback this week, they still are 5-2, best start they've had in years. But the Vikings are not going to go away quietly.
Here's a stat for you guys on Jordan Addison. I don't think people are talking about him enough. He was an absolute dude on Monday night, but he's been like that all year. He has as many career games with 120 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns as Michael Thomas, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, and T. Higgins. He has played 7 games, guys.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is wild.
Absolutely freaking nuts, how good he is. And this is with him being the one.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't even JJ getting more of the coverage. Think how good he's going to be when JJ comes back.
Well, now since we are podcasters, we have to ask stupid questions like this. Are the Vikings better without Justin Jefferson?
I don't answer stupid questions. I don't care if I'm on a podcast.
Stop trying to make cool videos for the internet, Dylan. That just made you sound super unintelligent, and you're already not that smart. So don't do more things to help out this case.
Okay, fair enough.
You already live in Western wherever. It's fine. We all know you're an idiot.
You wanted to say Montana, Ethan, and Dylan's going to say, no, I live in North Dakota. And to that, I respond with this. You live closer to the Montana border than the North Dakota capital. So, by the rules of the internet, you live in Montana.
Yep.
That's how that works, huh?
Eastern
By
Montana.
the rules of the internet.
Grant doesn't make them.
Or the rules of Grant.
There are no rules of Grant.
Yeah, that's true.
There are no rules. There's one rule. There's no rule. Put a shirt on. There's one rule. There's no rules of Grant. I just come up with silly statements like that kind of make sense,
and also
but don't.
Also, to quote fellow podcasters, the Kelsey brothers, you are wrong that they're about this being a dumb question. There are there's no such thing as a dumb question, just dumb people.
Well, I don't want to know that was a dumb question you had, or just like you said, a dumb statement, but you were really dumb there as a dumb person asking that. So once again, the Kelsey brothers strike again.
Correct. So, Ethan, who do you have as your surprise team?
I have the Colts, believe it or not. Yes, they didn't win. Also, the NFL admitted they screwed up twice in the final couple minutes. So, I mean,
that was rough.
Definitely make an argument they probably should have won, considering they lost by 1. But the Browns came in, absolutely made Brock Purdy look like he's never played football before last week, shut down that entire offense. And all of a sudden, Gardner Minshew comes in and puts up 38 freaking points on these guys. Like, I'm pulling up his stats right now. He was unbelievable. He had a couple turnovers, but 15 to 23 for 305. Like,
that's crazy.
That is some insane change on every freaking throw.
That is crazy.
They ran for almost 200 yards. Like, they actually were explosive, and that's an understatement. Sucks their defense didn't come to play, but they probably should have won that game.
They should have, but they covered. So, it cost me some money. So,
hey, remember this. Remember this, boys. Good teams win, but great teams cover.
Yeah.
God, how many yards is that per throw or per completion? 305 by 15.
Dude,
I'm just curious.
Do the completion one first, because
20 yards a catch.
Holy shit.
305 divided, 20.
20.
Woo! You do that,
just
man.
Over 20 yards.
That's like some video game stats there. That's like,
insane.
Oh yeah, that dude is playing Madden right there.
So they
something
had
like that.
Receivers. So there are 3 receivers. So Michael Pittman had 75-yard touchdown. Josh Downs had a 59. Alec Pierce had a 32-yard catch, and Jonathan Taylor had a 20-yard catch.
Whew.
That is explosive. They didn't have and then Jonathan Taylor 24-yard run. Zach Moss 21-yard run. Like, just explosive play after explosive play.
Man, Shane Steichen calling plays like he's in Philadelphia again.
Yeah. With a backup
on the sideline. Minshew Mania, the Fu Manchu, living out of a van.
Yeah.
Breaking his hand to get another year of eligibility. That guy is the hero America needs right now.
The stats are just wild how vastly different they are.
Not the hero we deserve.
No, but the hero we need at the moment.
I mean, the Colts put up 450 yards, and the Browns had 315.
Well, and Deshaun Watson decided that, hey, I don't want to play, even though I've been medically cleared.
Yeah.
My shoulder's fine. My head, I hit the pavement, but I was cleared. I don't want to play. The difference is probably that Myles Garrett.
Yeah, they have 4 turnovers is the thing.
Well, did he have a strip sack that led to a touchdown, right? Yep. And then that blocked field goal. Shoot, there's 10 points right there just off of the Defensive Player of the Year at the moment.
Yeah.
Did you, Ethan, did you see Brady Quinn's Twitter back and forth with his Deshaun's quarterback coach?
Oh, my God.
No, I did not.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I got to read this one too. So on his radio show, Brady does in the morning, 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox and LeVar Arrington, which is a really good show. They were talking about how it's Brady Quinn compared it to that kid that was handed a $230 million inheritance and didn't want to work hard.
The trust fund, baby.
Yep. And I'm trying to find it here. Maybe it's under his replies. Great radio right now. But where is this? No.
Is it as good as mine and Ballsby's Twitter interaction?
Okay. Ethan is also blocked by the Big 12 commissioner, so give it up for Ethan here.
The Big 12 commissioner? How the hell did that happen?
Son. I told you that.
Oh, the son. Oh, okay.
It's his son.
I knew you were blocked by him, but I was like, the commissioner? What kind of levels did you go to? The son. Oh, no, that makes sense. That guy's just a giant pussy.
Yeah. So here's what Brady Quinn said, is everyone with a medical opinion has cleared Deshaun Watson. The situation is almost similar to a kid getting $230 million trust fund. You ask them to get a job and they have no incentive to do it. Then Quincy Avery responds, Brady, I'ma be real. You don't know what the blank you are talking about and sit behind a microphone gossiping like a little high school chick. Brady, come talk anytime you want in person. Open invite. And then Quincy says, I just seen you Saturday. I don't have anything I want to talk to you about. I'm telling you, you're talking about things you don't know. Talking on another man who doesn't know you is weak. Well, I didn't see you. Point being. Brady responds, how about we massage this conversation and get it to a happy ending? Does that sound satisfactory?
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's why we love the internet.
Brady Quinn can't talk. He was even worse than him in a freaking Browns uniform.
Oh, it's this is the greatest thing Brady Quinn's done for the Cleveland Browns in his whole life.
This is true.
But it's hilarious.
It's terrible.
It is. But anyways, Grant, who is your surprise team of the week?
So my surprise team, I'm going to go with the New England Patriots here, fellas.
I left you that one.
Good
I was
choice.
going to pick him, but I'm like, I doubt he had the Colts on his.
No, I sure didn't. And I'm not going to lie, when I was given the third pick here, I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Because unlike Dylan, I only had one team. So even if you had the Pats, I would have furthered that conversation. But no, on Sunday, I mean, Mac Jones looked like an NFL quarterback. I mean, 25 of 30, 272 yards with 2 touchdowns, guys, and more importantly, 0 turnovers. That's been his problem this year. He likes to throw touchdowns to the other team more than the Patriots team. And then also, a quarterback rating of 126.7 and a QBR of 78.5. That's going to win you a lot of games in this league. But I think the most impressive part was they kept their composure when they blew their fourth quarter lead. At one point, they were up 22-10. Buffalo gets 2 touchdowns within the last 6 minutes of that game, and they take a lead, with under 2 minutes left to go. And Mac Jones brings them right down the field, finds Gesicki in the back of the end zone, and the Patriots get a big win. A win that they needed. Because if they didn't, it's still, times are still tough up there in Foxborough, but it would have been Pitchfork Nation and let's burn the whole thing down. But
do you think them announcing Belichick got that lucrative extension had anything to do with this? Because before, no one knew. They're like, is he going to retire? Is he not? Well, now we know he's not. Do you think that had anything to do with it?
I think it did have something to do with it, and also, he gets his 300th career regular season win. After this, it's kind of a lost year. It's like, hey, no, we're going to bring Bill back. He gets this nice big extension where he's pretty much saying, I'm going to coach to take Don Shula's record.
Yeah.
There's nothing that people can say bad about me. I'm going to have the most regular season wins, the most Super Bowls, everything like that. So I think it did have something to do with that too. But also the last part for this New England passing game, I saw, guys, 9 players caught a ball on Sunday. That's been a problem for them all year, is creating explosive plays.
So Kendrick Bourne had a good game.
Kendrick Bourne, he did have a good game. And then just to share the rock like that, get some confidence going against a tough Miami team they got to play up this upcoming Sunday. The Patriots needed that. And after what we've seen from this offense this year and how I bashed them 2 weeks ago, I didn't see this coming. So it's fitting to me that they're the surprise team of the week.
Well, and I thought they did a good job of they had a semblance of a running game, because that's really where that's been Mac's struggles and the offensive struggles. They've struggled to run the ball downhill. They moved a couple of pieces on that offensive line that seemed to have worked. They did a good job of focusing on Mac's strengths, where they put him under center more. They threw the ball in the middle of the field. And to shift kind of gears here to Buffalo, is those injuries that they have on that defensive side. It's going to be a recurring problem. Is right when we thought they were gonna, and then the injury bug hits them. They just can't have nice things in Buffalo.
Well, and then also on Sunday, guys, Mac Jones was only sacked 1 time, and it was only for a 4-yard loss. So a unit that we said coming into the year needed to improve. You bring Vaughn back, and they only get Mac Jones down to the ground 1 time. You're not going to win a lot of games in that division this year if you're only doing that. And yeah, like you said, Dylan, the Patriots, sure, they only averaged 4 yards carry on Sunday, but they were still able to run the ball 24 times and, have somewhat of a complimentary offense going for them. So I didn't see this performance coming. I thought the Bills were going to beat them, and I thought they'd beat them by 10 plus.
Yeah, well, I think they were favored by like 8.5 or 9.5 going into the game.
It started at 8.5 on Tuesday. I don't know if it went up or down or where it was.
I want to say it might have gotten up to 9.5 when it kicked. Mm-hmm. I think that sounds right. But
I know to start the week it was 8.5.
Yeah, but who do you have for your disappointing team?
You guys mentioned this team who's leading the NFC North. I'm saying the Detroit Lions. This Sunday, guys, they had an opportunity to get a win where I think us and everyone else in the media and league-wide could say, no, this is their first legit win, because people are going to have that week 1 win with an asterisk. No Travis Kelce, no Chris Jones for the Chiefs. That offense only puts up 14 points, and their other wins, Sure, it's the NFL; they're professionals, but Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, Packers. Now is the time. You're on the road. You're playing a good team in Baltimore. Hey, show up and show out, and let's go and dominate the game. And they got dominated. And I will say this: anytime this year Detroit has to throw the ball 53 times, they're losing that football game.
Yes.
I get David Montgomery was out, but you spend a first-round pick on Jahmyr Gibbs, you still got to give that running game a chance to get going. And as I see this other player in Philadelphia keep playing, I keep telling myself the Detroit Lions could have taken Jalen Carter. They could have had Jalen Carter and Aiden Hutchinson, but Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell wanted to do their own thing. They took a running back in the first round that surprised a lot of people, and he had 11 touches or 12 touches, I think, on Sunday. And their defense looked like the defense from last year. Only one quarterback hit all day on Lamar Jackson. He had time to bake a cake back there, and only 2 tackles for loss. That's just not going to do it. And then another thing I found interesting, and this is what I was most disappointed is Dan Campbell, I think it was Aaron Andrews. I'm not so much disappointed with the energy of my team. It's just the execution and how we're not making the right plays. So you admitted on TV your coaching staff didn't do a good job getting these players ready for this game. You want to win in Detroit? Don't come out and say, "Oh, I like our energy," but hey, we're just not making the right plays. That's on you, Dan. So just all in all, these Lions looked like the old Lions, and I was upset with them on Sunday.
I'm staying with a game that's in the NFC North, but I'm going with the Raiders versus the Bears. The Bears suck. They have a Division II QB a year ago playing right now. He has their starting quarterback. And the Raiders literally put up less than 250 yards total offense. Brian Hoyer got outplayed by this D2 guy, got benched in the second half when it was like 30-6. If you're the Raiders defense, you let them run for almost 200 yards. Like, what an absolutely abysmal performance. It wasn't bad weather. It was 60 degrees out in Chicago, so you can't blame it on that. But just an absolutely pathetic showing by the Raiders right after actually looking decent versus the Packers the week before.
Well, and you know what's funny? That Division II quarterback, Ethan, what was his backup plan if he couldn't play football? Oh, I was just going to do CrossFit and try to get ripped as possible.
Oh, yeah. I'm like,
you
what?
let a douchebag do that to you?
Yeah.
You know what his dad is like a world champion arm wrestler too.
Why do I want to punch this guy in the face? And why do I
I'll
think
say that he looks like a badass. He really does.
Well, he kind of does, but he also looks like a giant douche who drinks Monster Energy. And
Mr. Energy, you should create an energy drink.
And just does God knows what with God knows who. Who am I kidding? He probably has 4 Loko in his basement. He's drinking the original 4 Loko. And his interview, the original 4 Loko, that brother had his hat on sideways, looked like T.I. after his in-game interview. I mean, Josh McDaniels, 3 Super Bowls as a coordinator, and you let that guy beat you?
Time out on the 4 Locos. I saw a guy shotgun one of those once and then drive in his car.
You should have called the police.
Yeah, immediately. You should have called the police.
He is now a sheriff.
What was that?
He's now a sheriff.
Oh, there's so much misconduct going on in that police department. It's disgusting. We need to check that evidence room. Stuff's been tampered with.
Yeah.
He actually runs the canine unit.
Oh, someone's getting bit by a dog that shouldn't be getting bit.
Yeah. Watch the Illinois Rockford area. He's gonna be on there, I tell you.
Oh, son of a god.
Oh boy.
Positive news. T-Wolves are on a 13-2 run. Let's go.
Yeah, and Orlando just beat the Rockets 116-86, so the road to 82-0 is still in play. Hey, have you watched Orlando play? Have you watched Orlando play the last couple of years?
Pablo,
a win is a win.
Dylan, I have watched 0 Orlando because they're not on national TV.
Hey, same.
I think I watched them once versus the T-Wolves, and they beat the living hell out of them.
Who the Magic?
Orlando beat the
last year. I feel like they beat the living hell out of them.
Okay,
I think you're right. Yeah. Let's see here. Paulo was well. He only shot the ball
Texas
6
cat
times.
complaining about a call on him.
What a surprise.
Never a surprise.
Cole Anthony led the way with 20 off the bench.
Didn't he
Franz
just get an
Wagner had
extension?
17. He did. But back to the NFL. My disappointing team is the team that Grant's team was playing, and it was the Chargers. And I might have picked this because I may have had the Chargers covering the 5.5.
You are so stupid.
And well, was I though? Because it seems like every time these two play, it always comes down to a field goal game. It always was close. We've criticized Brandon Staley plenty of times here on this podcast, and rightfully so. But, and we've said he's an incompetent head coach, but I didn't expect his incompetence to reach the level like, we don't need to cover Travis Kelce. And then the off
nobody does. Nobody covers him.
Yeah. Especially with Taylor Swift in the building. He's going to want to have a big game to show off.
Wait for it. You could say there's giant blank space in that Chargers defense on Sunday.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh, that is good.
You walked me right into it.
You're welcome. And the offense, they just could not finish drives. What we've criticized Kellen Moore for, he doesn't adjust at all. They let Pat Mahomes throw for 300 yards in the first half, throw for 400, and if they chose to throw the ball a lot more, Pat probably could have broken the passing yards record for a single game.
Not gonna lie, I almost picked the Cowboys as my disappointing team just to piss you off.
That wouldn't piss me off. I was disappointed they didn't play because they couldn't win, but
it is frustrating seeing these teams suck that the Vikings lost to this year. Bucks, Chargers. Like how
all games they should have won.
Be 5-2 right now.
Well, they on Monday night the Vikings made the 3 to 4 plays that the other teams were making in those games.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like the Jordan Addison, the play right before the half.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw it in the first third play of the game.
First drive of the game.
And then they make that play, but they weren't making those plays in those losses. They did, and they turned it around.
Turn the script.
And we'll stay with me here. We'll go to the Told You So team of the week. And I think this counts as a Told You So. Maybe not, but it was my idea to when we did the layout of the show, we we're going to have a Told You So team. So I'm going to go with it anyways. So my Told You So team is the Eagles. Now, let me explain. I texted you guys right before the game kicked off that those Kelly Green jerseys were, oof. I don't say many nice things about Philadelphia in general, but those Kelly Green jerseys, you can't dispute it. It's like you can't talk crap about greatness. And I'm not Skip Bayless. So I'm going to give the Eagles their flowers.
Thank goodness.
They were incredible, and I said they were going to win by at least 2 scores, and they should have won by more because that game really wasn't even that close. It was they got a short drive off a turnover. The Dolphins had 1 drive the whole game, down three offensive linemen. They just could not protect Tua. They could not get a run game going at all, and when you only have to get 9 yards and 3 downs, and you have that tush push in your back pocket, you're going to be able to extend a lot of drives, take the air out of the ball, and especially a team like the Dolphins who are very high flying and they live and die by the big play. It's going to be you take the air out of the ball and you're able to take 2 or 3 minutes off the clock every 4 plays. It demoralizes the team. That's exactly what the Eagles did.
I'm going to go out west in this whole organization. We're not just doing a team. We're doing the whole freaking thing. But the Arizona Cardinals. Their owner seems like a giant piece of shit. A bunch of accusations now coming out against him. Their GM had to quit due to health reasons. Who knows if that's actually true or else he just left because this guy's a dick. And then the team just sucks. Like, they're just terrible. There's nothing good about them. Kyler Murray's not going to save them. absolutely terrible first overall pick. Cliff Kingsbury's a terrible coach. He's had how many years now to try and turn it around? Oh, they got rid of him. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
the
Gannon
new guy.
now.
It's Eagles guy. Why?
Gannon.
It's still the same thing. Like, why would you take that job? The whole organization just stinks.
Brian Flores turned that job down.
Yeah. Like, they just absolutely
pew, 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 pew. Shots,
Well,
explosives.
Jonathan Gannon had to take that job because he wasn't going to be allowed back in Philadelphia after the second half of that Super Bowl where his defense couldn't stop anybody. So he figured, well, I'm already in Arizona. I might as well take this shitty head coaching job.
Yeah. Get paid, get 4 years living in Arizona, and then you get fired.
I mean,
it's not a bad place to retire.
I think they have theirs in Houston's pick.
Oh, that's right. The Bears have Carolina. That's right. That's right.
They have I think they have 2.
So they're definitely going to go QB at some point.
Well, they're probably going to have a top 3 pick, and then Houston, who knows? They might mess around and have a mid-first rounder. But
at this point, yeah, they actually
Arizona, they need all the picks they can get, so they'll take 2 first-rounders no matter where they're.
Bears going to have 2 top 3 picks probably. Bastards.
So my turn, correct?
I think it is your turn.
It is my turn. Well, my I told you so team, boys, it's the team on the sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. Came in Sunday and just put a shellacking down on the Chargers and really took control of the AFC West. They're at 6-1. The Raiders are at 3-4. And they just kind of, what they did to the Chargers afterwards, the Chargers are just like, they're demoralized, and it's the same old beating they're used to taking these last couple years where they just can't beat this team. And, the big thing that started with me is how good and how underappreciated the Chiefs defense is. In the second half, 0 points allowed. On the game, they had 5 sacks, 2 turnovers. Like you said, they're constantly getting in Justin Herbert's face. Their free agent Charles Awanu from San Francisco was his first game after that 6-game suspension. He had a sack. He had a tip pass that led to a L'Jarius Sneed interception. The offense, and then just 5 of those sacks, 2 of them came back from the linebacking core. Willie Gay got to Herbert again. Drew Tranquil, who the Chargers somehow let out of that building to sign an older, slower Eric Kendricks. So that just shows the incompetence of the Chargers organization. And the Chiefs are like, we'll take you. But, hey, it's a good thing they got him now with Nick Bolton dislocating his wrist and out until at least Christmas or a little after that. And then they just they held Herbert to only 17 of 30 on the day, 56% of his passes. Normally, Justin's up closer to high 60, 70% completion percentage. So his defense is playing great. And the offense, they finally they were able to spread the love. 10 people had catches on Sunday. 4 people, 4 different players scored. Travis went off, again, but Rashee Rice is having a hell of a start to his career. MVS found the end zone. Sky Moore with a couple catches again. I said MVS. Pacheco got in the end zone. They came out. They did what they were supposed to do. And you bring back McCole Hardman this week, and he has a huge 50-yard punt return that sets up Pacheco's touchdown to get them up by 2 touchdowns. And it was nice to see the 2 new tackles had a damn good day against Bosa and Khalil Mack. Only 1 sack on the day on Mahomes. You're able to keep him upright, and he's going to tear you apart. And he had 2 big rushes on 3rd downs that got first downs on 3rd and 7s plus when the Chargers lost contain. And they're just doing what they're doing. And they got Denver again this week, and who knows? They might be able to put the AFC West on ice, like we all said they would.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think we did say they'd have it wrapped up before Thanksgiving, and well, it might be before Halloween. So we got that. We that concludes everybody. We've done our told you so teams, yep. Right? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're good there. So before we get, oh no, never mind. We're not quite there yet. We will. Yeah. We have before we get to the World Series preview, we're gonna recap College Football Week 8, our team of the week. And Grant, you had it last, so in snake draft style, who is your college football team of the week?
So I'm going kind of off the grid here. This team, they're not ranked. They had one win coming into Saturday, and they haven't had a lot going for them in the last calendar year. The Virginia Cavaliers.
You sandbagging son of a bitch.
I knew someone else was going to have it. I knew it would have been Ethan.
The only non-ranked team to beat a ranked team. Oh, wait.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
That's really the only reason I would have picked them, was to say that.
No, that's all right. That team's not even worth talking. I'm not even going to mention them by first name. So we're done with them. They don't deserve the lashing that they deserve. But with Virginia, their first Power 5 win since last year, and their first ACC win since their 3 players were tragically killed last November, and to go into Chapel Hill and get a win against a top 10 team, it's something I think that it's a program win that Tony Elliott needed. And you just look at Virginia's offense on Saturday. They were complimentary all night. 208 yards in the air, but more impressive, 228 yards rushing on the night against, so far early in this year, a Carolina front 7 that looked pretty good. As we've lost Dylan, so it's just Ethan and I.
Hello.
And Dylan's back. He has that concerned look on his face that his
be a
Wi-Fi
ghost.
went out.
Could you were you able to hear Grant at all?
Yes.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck? I couldn't hear him at all.
Well, we
Weird.
lost him.
Yeah.
back.
But yeah, Virginia, to get a top
Is
10
he?
win.
Can you hear him now?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Oh, because he's frozen right now.
Oh, I got him.
Well, that's not good.
I cannot hear him. Oh,
Grant,
boy.
just keep talking. It's fine. Dylan doesn't need to hear you.
No, yeah, we don't.
Can
we don't
Grant
need
hear
him.
me?
He's just talking all about the Cowboys. It's fine. Just roasting them.
I can hear you, dog.
I'm sure he is.
And then that Virginia defense, 2 sacks and an interception of Drake May. Something the Cavaliers needed, and they pulled off a big upset. So, props to Virginia for last week's win.
15 minutes more of time of possession. That's really how you beat North Carolina. They're going to be explosive. You got to keep Drake May off the field.
Keep him off the field.
It's my turn. I'm going with one of my college football playoff teams. I'm going with Florida State.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Look at this. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, Dylan,
Grant?
I'm going with Florida State for my
You're going with
team of the week.
Oh, okay.
Held Duke to 76 passing yards. Not too shabby.
Not bad.
Good balance offensively. 270 in the air, 150 on the ground. Forced a turnover. Only negative thing is Duke ran for almost 200 rushing yards. So that's going to be something they're going to have to fix here soon before they start playing the Clemson. I guess they beat Clemson already. If they get to the playoff, that's going to be where maybe they face a Michigan, a Georgia. That's going to literally smash them in the mouth. But they did outscore Duke 21-0 in the second half. So really kind of took over in the fourth quarter when they were still down 3, I believe, going into the fourth.
Yeah, it was 20-17.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep.
Something like that. I didn't get to watch much of that game at all, but yeah, and well, might have been saved a little bit by Riley Leonard going out. He was playing really well, and then he got hurt, and it kind of fell off. But that goes to my team of the week here, and I'm gonna go. My NFL surprise team of the week was the Minnesota Vikings. I'm gonna stay in the state of Minnesota, and my team of the week is going to be the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They were down.
That was just an awful game. They don't deserve this.
You know what? As Grant always says, this isn't gymnastics. This isn't style points. This is football, and all you got to do is score more than the other team. They found a way to score. They got turnovers, and when they had to. And this is their first win in Iowa City since 1999. Now, with that win, Minnesota closes the year with Wisconsin. Do you know, Ethan, the last time Minnesota beat Wisconsin and Iowa in the same year?
I believe, I think that was 1993. I believe it was 1967 when we had the jug, the pig, and the axe, if I remember correctly.
Okay, I don't know about the jug with the jug, but I was just looking at the when they had Floyd and the Axe, and that was 1990.
1990.
So
I was close. Damn.
Yep. They beat Wisconsin 21-3, and then they beat Iowa to end the year 31-24. Do you know who the head coach was?
In 1990. I honestly have no idea.
No, it was John Gutekunst.
Yep, that was not
his father was Brian, the current GM of the Green Bay Packers.
His cousin?
No, his son.
Oh, his son.
Yep. Or well, so yeah, Brian is John's son.
Yes.
The Packers GM.
Interesting.
GM's daddy.
Yep. Okay. Interesting.
No, that is what we call, folks, a Fun Fact Friday recorded on a Wednesday, coming at you on a Thursday.
Since we did that, and we're waiting for Grant to rejoin.
What?
What are you talking about?
It's right here, Dylan.
What are you talking about?
It's only showing me and you. Like, I don't even see a picture of him.
Just totally right there.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I can
really?
see you. I can
Send
see
me a
Ethan.
picture of what your screen looks like.
Right now, he's just so confused.
What?
Oh, this is incredible. Oh, now.
Oh, there he is.
Now I lost him.
Son of a bitch!
I can hear him.
Now I can hear him. Now he's back.
He's just a little square G. Oh, now he's fuzzy, but he's back.
Oh,
please tell me you got that.
I did.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Dylan's just.
Huh? We're waiting for Grant to return.
Only thing would have been
right
better
here.
if Dylan's hand was like on his chin, just.
Contemplating life.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Grant and I both look confused.
Yeah, I've been confused for the last 5 minutes because, like I said, I can see both of you. I can hear me. I can see.
So you never left
screen.
you never left like the
Dude,
you never left at all?
I've been here the whole time.
No, he's been.
Oh, what the heck?
Time.
Ethan tried to tell you that. You just didn't listen.
Well, I did, but I also know he's tried to mess with me too. So it's like I don't know what to believe.
Oh no, I've been here the whole time.
So you heard me talking about the. Were you able to hear me the whole time too?
Well, yeah, and I was gonna say, your Kirk Ferentz line. Hey, there's no style. This isn't gymnastics. There's no style points in football. That's fair for an ugly win, but from what I saw that game on Saturday from both of those teams, that's worse than that. So like that looked like I was watching 8-man Nebraska high school football on Saturday. That's how incompetent both of those teams were.
Well, they were just terrible.
And I understand one team has to win, and the better team won. But
I will say, I'm glad we came out and threw the ball in the second half. I will say that. We weren't going to win by just running it. Like, you got to, at some point, trust Ethan a little bit.
And I will say this. You know what's nice? Those assholes don't play this weekend. Continuing to not say their name because they don't deserve it, because they suck. I don't think they play this weekend. I think next weekend their game is on Peacock. Well, I don't get Peacock, so I can't watch that game. Oh darn!
I'll give you my login info. You can have it. So you
not going to use it. I
wouldn't want you to miss
that.
There's
always a free trial.
Nope, yeah. Not even going to waste my time because they suck. I don't want to watch 8-man Nebraska high school football. That's what those idiots put out there.
That's how bad Iowa's gotten. Is Grant doesn't even want to. This is like you act like they murdered somebody. This is like Ron Goldman's dad not refusing to acknowledge that. Refusing to call OJ by his name, just calling him the killer. That's the.
They've taken this team.
They've killed your joy, is what they're saying.
Yes, Dylan. I kid you not. They've taken the fun out of watching college football because I know how incompetent they are. And I told this to Ethan, and me and Alec actually had this conversation last week. It's one, either time to find a new team, or two, I'm going fanless for college football, and I'm just going to watch. Because what they're putting out there is unwatchable. My dad's not going to watch them the rest of the year. They suck. They're awful. It's not fun. I'd much rather watch paint dry because when I'm watching paint dry, I don't have to be disappointed in watching one team try to play offense. And watching them play offense is like watching paint dry. They suck. I'm over them. They're done.
Are you hating on Bob Ross right now?
I'm not hating on Bob Ross. I'm hating on that 4-letter state that doesn't deserve me to say their name. And also,
wow. Oh, he doesn't even want to say the team's name.
I know,
Much less the coach's.
I haven't said the team's name this whole time, Dylan. I don't know if you caught on to that. I have not said that 4-letter team's name for a long time. Actually, this whole episode here. But I know you can't compare pro teams to college teams. It's not fair. But when you watch how Kansas City execute how creative they are on offense and defense, and how detailed they are, and how they're in every single game, and you can trust them. To go from watching that on a Sunday to this 4-letter state on Saturday, it's a total, like, you're in a different world. And again, it's pro to college, but that team doesn't even look like they practice. They don't look like they have competent coaches. I don't know if they believe in a weight room. I see a bunch of overweight offensive linemen who are getting tossed and don't look like they can bench 315. Congratulations, you can throw a bale of hay 20 feet in the air at the Iowa State Fair. You can't block that 3 technique in front of you from the Gophers, who absolutely destroyed you.
Grant, why are you getting upset? You're not even a fan.
Yeah, Grant.
Why am I getting upset? It's because it looks like this. That's why. You're getting paid millions of dollars as a coach, and that's the performance you're putting out on the field. But you can tell it's building up, and it's exploded out, but they suck, and they don't deserve to be talked about.
Guys, I got another Friday fun fact set on a Wednesday, going out on a Thursday. Guess the last time, year-wise, that the T-Wolves beat the Raptors in Toronto, I believe.
Can I say 1998?
Sure, you can.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1998.
Okay.
I'll go 1999.
2004.
Okay.
Wow.
Almost 20 years, and it's not going to happen tonight. So,
Way
Wow.
to build that up, Ethan. I for sure thought that was going to change.
No. Nope. Just they obviously weren't as good as the Vikings or Gophers this week. They didn't want to keep it rolling. So, Cat was Cat, sucked on a big stage, first game of the year. So, it's not surprising.
No. And let's go to our brief break from football. Let's go to our World Series preview. That is set to start on Friday down in Texas in Arlington. Rangers-Diamondbacks, both teams down 3-2, going on the road, had to win 2 games. They both did. And just as everybody predicted at the start of the season, we have a Rangers-Diamondbacks World Series.
I'm excited. I mean, Philly, I guess, is somewhat of a big market, but obviously not one of probably like the top 5 to 6 biggest. And Arizona, I mean, they haven't really been relevant since Luis Gonzalez hit the blooper over shortstop Jeter to win the World Series. So I'm excited. It's going to – oh, wait, Rangers. Jesus Christ, why am I talking the Phillies, guys? I am losing my brain.
Well, I thought you were going somewhere with like the media markets.
No,
and
I'm just like losing my
Philadelphia
head right now.
Philadelphia is a big one. Arizona is mad. Dallas,
Texas.
Fort Worth. That's a big media market.
Texas isn't that big of a baseball market. No. So 2 smallish, I guess, areas of markets. So not something you're used to. I can only imagine the MLB is just pissed.
Oh, and Fox has to be just pissed too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't know who to take.
I'm gonna root for the Rangers just for this sheer fact they're in the American League.
Sure.
And also, they've been there, they've done that. Their organization hasn't won one ever, I don't think.
Nope.
And it'd be kind of cool to see Bruce Bochy get another one, get a 4th. So but it's not going to bother me who wins. I just think it's kind of cool that it's 2 teams, since they added that extra 2 playoff spots that are in. Because Texas was the 5, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the D-backs were the 6.
Sounds right. Yeah.
In the National League. So I think it's kind of cool that the MLB, they're like, hey, let's expand the playoffs, get more teams in there, get a little more buzz going around the league. And look at that, you got a World Series matchup with two teams that wouldn't have made it 3 years ago. When I say made it, wouldn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
They both 2 years ago they both lost over 100 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And so
Well, also
let's,
it's kind of
let's
crazy just sorry to interrupt here, but for Texas's sake, in June they drafted that kid out of Florida with the 4th pick, and now they're going to the World Series in the same year.
I'm going to Diamondbacks.
Okay.
I'm taking Diamondbacks.
how many games?
6. They're gonna win it on the
Okay.
road. I'm only saying
All
that
right.
because Texas, I guess they beat the Rangers 3 times on the road, or is it 4? Did they win all
Beat the
4?
Astros 4 times. 4 times.
The Astros sucked at home all year. They were 3 games under 500. Diamondbacks went on the road and won 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. Phillies were 17 games over 500 at home. So, like, that's pretty goddamn impressive. I think that's the second best home record in the MLB. But they went in there and they shut them up. And that crowd's ruthless. Some of the worst in the country. So, yeah, I'm going pretty much for that reason. I'll take the Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks in 6. I will say, I'm going to, this one I've battled back and forth. I've been to both states. They're both wonderful states. But when it comes down to it, I've been to the old Rangers Stadium. I've been outside of the Diamondbacks ballpark, but I've been inside the old Rangers ballpark. And I'm going to go with the Texas Rangers because it's just going to be a trend of the Rangers are going to win the World Series in, I'll say, 6 games. I think they just have too much firepower offensively where it's just they just will lean and lean and lean and just never seem to give up. And then eventually you can keep them down for as long as you want, but eventually they're going to come out and just hit the laces off the ball like they did in Game 6 and Game 7. And it's just going to be starting a trend. The Rangers are going to win the World Series. The Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. So that's why I'm picking the Rangers to win in 6 games.
Doesn't seem homerish, but it's fine.
Well, Arizona start to celebrate because Dylan predicted the Rangers. And
congratulations. Why even play?
Philadelphia, you might as well get your hat and T-shirt out for the NFC East title. You're gonna let's all run away. He's probably gonna pull out some stupid Cowboy shirt.
No, he's probably gonna get his Rangers hat from when he went there.
Oh yeah, from when he went there a couple years ago. That's right. This bum.
Then he has Tom Brady sitting back there.
He's probably a picture of Tom kissing his kid, which
probably does.
That's
Dwight
creepy.
Howard-esque.
Yeah, very Dwight Howard-esque. A man? Come on, Dwight.
Admitted to having some sort
of consensual relationship with a what? And then forcing another guy to join.
Have you seen that new show on Fox, Special Forces?
I've seen previews, but I haven't seen the show. No.
Yeah, they get the celebrities and everything. He was on the first season and actually made it to like the final 4.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like that was, as soon as I saw his name, I'm like, wow, I just saw him like being a Navy SEAL.
Well, what can I say? Don't ask, don't tell for the Special Forces.
What did they were like running through the desert trying to hide, and all of a sudden the guy's like, how does he hide in the desert? He's like 6'11".
He's 7 feet tall.
I had a Rangers hat I was going to pull out, but I couldn't find it.
Hey, yeah, you called it. Called it.
Could not find it. Also doesn't help that I'm short and couldn't see over the top, so maybe I'll find it at some point down the line. But
do you need a stool in your room? A step stool?
I might. I have an extra chair. I could have used that, but yeah.
Ethan, then we just hear the chair break because Dylan's fat ass broke it.
Yeah.
Well, I know that wouldn't be the issue because I had to change a light bulb earlier and I was using it for that. So we're good there. Nope, did not. Did not do that. I'm not. I mean, screwing in a light bulb and you electrocute yourself, you got to be pretty stupid. It takes a special type of stupid to do that type of thing. Well, but Grant, I did not hear. Who did you
unscrew it with the lights on?
No.
I mean, that's how stupid you have to be to do it. It's not that hard. Turn the lights off and take it out.
I prefer to live on the edge.
Of course you do.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just ground yourself. You'll be fine.
It's
Yeah.
only a flesh wound.
That's how that works. Yeah. So Grant, who did you pick to pick to win?
I didn't make a prediction yet, but like I said, I'll root for the Rangers because then they're in the American League. I'll go Rangers in 7.
Rangers in 7.
Okay.
All right.
Do they start
Our
that?
predictions sure to go wrong. It's
Friday.
probably going to be one of the
Friday.
teams in 5. So
Also,
back
another thing,
to
dude, Chase Field holds 50,000 fans.
That's not even counting all the people in the pool.
That's crazy. I was like, holy shit. I couldn't understand
It's
it when
huge.
CBS, Brian Anderson kept saying that. Oh, yeah, 50,000 strong here in the desert. What?
I got one more prediction. Corbin Carroll, World Series MVP.
MVP?
Yep.
Fair.
Okay. All right. Well, back to football. We'll go week 8 in the NFL. Our NFL game of the week. Now, is it Grant? Is it you again? Yeah, I believe it is you again.
No. I went first for the college, so no, it's you, Dylan. Because I took Virginia.
Okay.
Ethan called me a sandbag and son of a bitch.
Yep, you're right.
You took the Gophers. I went on that tangent about that one team. So it's your turn.
Iowa is their name.
No, can't say it. Too
right.
complicated for this uneducated man here.
He is
Can't
an
say
idiot
it.
out walking around. He finally admits it.
So my NFL Week 8 game of the week is the Bengals at the 49ers. Now, the Bengals coming off a bye week. Going into the bye, they've gotten 2-3-3. They have to keep pace with the rest of the AFC North with the Browns 4-2. The Ravens, I believe, are 5-2. Steelers are 4-2. 4-2 as well. Bengals need this one to keep pace. And we're really going to see how healthy Joe Burrow is going up against a strong 49ers pass rush who did not play well on Monday night. I expect them to come out with an edge and really get after it. We're going to also see it's a great test for the Bengals offensive line who have also not played well this year. I think Joe Mixon is going to be an X factor for this game. I think they need to find some Cincinnati needs to find some semblance of a run game to take the pressure off of Burrow, because if you get into a drop back pass game against the 49ers and Joe Burrow with a bad leg, it's not going to end well for Cincinnati.
Well, and you know what's interesting? I heard today, guys. Brock Purdy is currently in concussion protocol.
He is.
If he can't go, it's the Sam Darnold show.
There's worse backups.
There's worse backups, but
there is
something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Especially if Debo and Trent are still out.
I think they said Debo's 1 to 2 weeks, so he'll be iffy.
Close.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting is the Niners have their bye week after this week, I believe. So
it makes sense to sit him.
If Debo's on the fence, do they maybe say, we're going to wait it out? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dylan, your point. The Bengals O-line minus Orlando Brown Jr. this year has been, in the words of Aaron Rodgers, full of bums. And against that pass rush in that home stadium after 2 weeks on the road. Oof. But the Bengals did just have their bye too, so who knows? Maybe Joe's calf is feeling better.
Could be. So, Ethan, what is your Week 8 game of the week?
We're going to the frozen tundra. We're going to Lambeau. Vikings Packers.
You have to.
This is always a big one. Doesn't matter how good they are. I think it's a good chance for the Vikings to get back to 500. Jordan Love struggled. He's kind of looked like shit the last 2 weeks for the most part. Mm-hmm. Packers defense is solid, but if the Vikings O-line comes and plays like they did, they continue this momentum, they're going to be fine. They're probably going to win this game by at least a score. I don't think it'll be a one-score game, actually. But, I like the Vikings in this game. I don't think the Packers O-line is going to be good enough to pick up all these exotic blitzes, let alone Jordan Love figuring out where they're coming from. The defense has been playing a lot better, and I think that continues.
So two fun facts for you. One, Alec is going to be at this game on Sunday.
All right, nice.
Ooh.
For free. Helps to know people in the construction industry who are contractors based out of Wisconsin and want to take you out for a good time. So he'll be there. And then also, other fun fact for you here. before last week's game, I saw the two best tackles in the NFL, according to PFF, for whatever that's worth, were Brian O'Neill and Christian Darrisaw.
Mm-hmm. Darrisaw proved it. Oof.
And they proved it on Monday.
Yeah.
So
Made Bosa
it's
bitch.
kind of just interesting. Something interesting to look at there. But I'm not gonna lie, guys. These games this week, they kind of suck. Both of y'all took the two of the three I already had.
Let me guess. Steelers Jaguars was your third one.
No, it was not.
Oh,
okay. Another Pennsylvania team who's playing a team they played only 2-3 weeks ago, and it was an overtime thriller. I'm going Eagles Commanders.
Oh.
I want to see how the Eagles rebound after an emotional week where they brought it to the Dolphins. They got to go on the road. They got to go to Washington. The Commanders, they need to bounce back. If not, it's about to implode. There, it's a rivalry game. These teams don't like each other. A.J. Brown and Emmanuel Forbes are still talking trash. From their last game, can the Eagles get to 7-1 and bury the Commanders? Can the Commanders play them tough? Like I said, I think it's the second time in 4 weeks they're playing. And again, the Eagles just coming off an emotional game where Nick Sirianni the whole week told the Eagles, hey, take it to the Dolphins. Bring the fight to them. Make them feel your pads. Can they do it 2 weeks in a row with a division game against a good front four who's sick of losing? Jonathan Allen said he's sick of this shit. We'll see. So I got Eagles Commanders.
All right. And then we'll stick with you, Grant. Who do you have for your college football Week 9 game of the week?
You know, Ethan, I think I'm going to maybe throw you a little bone here. There's one game I'm going to pick, but I'm not going to pick them because you've been on them to start the year. There's another game I'm going to pick because I've been on this team since last year. I'm going Oregon, Utah.
That was on the list.
I figured it was, but there's another game on the list that I'm going to let you have. I think. I hope I'm right.
What you're talking about, and I'm probably going to pick it.
Again, I'm going Oregon, Utah. Two teams who are still in the Pac-12 title race. Oregon, I still think, is in the college football playoff conversation. Oregon, they got to go on the road again. Utah coming off a good win last week on the road at USC. Looks like they're not going to have Cam Rising this year, but in the words of Kyle Whittingham, we got a pig farmer as our quarterback, and we love him. It's always tough to play in Salt Lake City when you're in the mountains there. And, you know, Utah, they've already played UCLA this year. They played Oregon State.
They played a gauntlet.
They played Baylor. They've played Florida. They still got to play Washington. And they just beat USC. I mean, Utah's got a tough schedule. And if they can win this game, I think they got an inside track at going back to the Pac-12 title game for the third year in a row. And can Dan Lanning get over these ghosts of going for it on 4th and down and causing his team to lose games? So we'll find out Saturday at 2:30. But I'm going Oregon, Utah.
Did you see the play last week? It was a screen to Bucky Irving, and was it Washington State? One of their defenders had no idea what was going on. Like literally, looking around like he was concussed. Just absolutely. If you haven't seen it,
oh my god,
this dude got hit so hard he didn't even know what was going on. It was probably the coolest and worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
And also on that note, I was going to say Oregon. They just came off beating a good Washington State team by two possessions.
Yeah.
After, you probably let that Washington game slip. So I'm excited for this one. This is the game I'm going to watch Saturday afternoon. So Oregon, Utah.
All right. Let's see if Grant guessed it right. I'm going Oklahoma, Kansas. I don't know if
Let's go, baby.
That was the one.
Let's go.
Oklahoma coming off a game where they looked very vulnerable versus a not great UCF team. Had to survive a late 2-point conversion, try to seal the win, but Kansas coming off the big loss at Oklahoma State, lost by 7, played them tough. I still don't know when their quarterback is going to come. Their starter's back. I have no idea. I mean, I'm pretty sure their backup, if I remember right, threw for, God, what was it? It was an absolutely stupid number. 436 maybe, I think it said last week. I got to verify that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said. So when your backup's throwing for that much, that's decent. I guess it was 2 weeks ago because they had an off week this week. So let's see here. I think it was 436. 410. 410 versus Oklahoma
That's still
State.
pretty damn good.
This is going to be a shootout. I think that quarterback just had to get his feet wet a little bit versus Texas, the backup, and now he's hopefully going to come back, turn around, and knock off Oklahoma at home.
Well, so guys, did you see Kansas is like number 1 in the country this year in yards per play?
They're stupid.
They're averaging, I think it's like 7.6 yards a play.
They might have averaged more per catch than the Colts. No, never mind. They were at 17.8. So they were 23 catches for, I guess 23 completions for 410.
Only 17.
Yeah.
Need to bump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Well, and they haven't even missed a beat without McDaniels at quarterback either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But my college game of the week, I had both of those down. And I'm going to go down to the SEC. We're going to Jacksonville, where they have the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Florida versus Georgia. Now, Florida, I don't know if Billy Napier is the answer, but outside of the Utah game, they have looked they've played really well this year. Graham Mertz has been playing he looks incredible. And we're going to see what Georgia looks like, what Carson Beck looks like without Brock Bowers. A lot of B's.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And Georgia looks really good, has looked really good at home this year, but when they get out on the road, outside of their own environment where things get a little bit uncomfortable, they have shown some signs of weakness. They struggled at Auburn. They struggled at whoever they played the week before. But this is a game that it's going to be wild. It's crazy. It is a huge drunk fest. You're going to see some great videos come out of this after the game or even before. You never know how when Florida and Georgia meets, but I think Dylan, this game is going to be closer than what people are thinking. I think people are writing Florida off and not giving them a shot. I do think Florida keeps this a game at least into the fourth quarter.
Do they get to 14.5?
I believe right now, it is 14.5.
I guess I'm asking you, Dylan, hypothetically speaking, are you going to take Florida at the 14.5?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think I do take Florida. Let's see here. This is one, where is the 14.5 right now is Georgia's favored. So yeah, I do think Florida covers the 14.5. And that wraps up our preview edition of the podcast here, and we're going to kick it over to Ethan, who is jumping up and down and staring from a distance into the computer.
Right now, Hannah's about ready to throw something at me, so just let it be known. Domestic.
As long as it's not a pan, I think you're fine.
It was a sweatshirt, but you never know what could be in it.
You probably had it coming.
No, I didn't. I went and petted Boone, and she got mad I didn't pet her too.
Well, because let's be honest here, Hannah does play third wheel in her own apartment. It's on the record. I had to say it. I've seen it enough. You're welcome.
Yep.
But Curveball.
Dylan, honestly, Ethan,
ahead.
sorry to interrupt. It is honestly pathetic. To watch Ethan and his dog. I mean, you'd think he splits half the rent, and Hannah's living there for free with the amount of attention that dog gets.
He's pretty spoiled. It's a good thing Hannah's here, though. Boone doesn't bring in a whole lot of income. Yes. But, no, so we went to Culver's tonight, and we ordered online, through the phone, through the app, and you would think it would be good. Like, you get there, you pull up, you say you're here, they bring it out. We waited 12 minutes. 12.
Ugh.
To get our food. And I had to literally yell at one of their people, team members, I guess. I don't know what they call them. But to ask about our food. And then she came out 4 minutes after that. So we sat there for probably 17 minutes waiting for our food we ordered on our phone while we're watching people that have ordered their food after us get theirs. But
Oh,
my question, what was the worst experience you've had at a restaurant? Fast food, doesn't matter.
I got something, Ethan, right along those lines where you order online and it's just an absolute disaster and shit show. I was coming back from Florida, visiting someone we shall not be named because she's a nasty person.
Yeah, fuck her.
Real bitch, just a bitch.
Hope she got eaten by a gator.
I kind of hope so. Pushed in the ocean. So I'm like, all right, I'm driving home. Naturally, what am I going to do? I'm going to get Chipotle. Type in on the app, pick up. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. So I get there at, let's say, 4:30. I walk in, and it's the St. Louis Park location. And I kid you not, there's got to be 50 people in this waiting room waiting for their food to come. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a disaster. And you look at the to-go shelf, there's nothing on there. They don't have anything made. And then this one gal next to me, she's sitting down and she goes, my pickup was supposed to be at 3:00 and I don't have my food yet. And I'm like, an hour and a half and you're still here?
Oh.
So I was like, all right, fine, I'll wait. Maybe something happened. I look on my phone. I got the email. Yeah, your order's been sent. St. Louis Park. Come get your stuff. Yada, yada, yada.
The worst
Chipotle of all time.
Like,
all
just
time.
awful.
I'm surprised that place hasn't closed yet. So it comes to like 4:50. I'm there for 20 minutes. And an order comes out for someone, guys, who their order time was to pick up at 3:10. So naturally, I'm like, there's no point in talking to a manager or doing something online to complain. So I just picked up and I left. I said, you know what? I'll eat the $10-11 at the time, whatever it was. I can't do this anymore. I gotta go
now.
Yeah, I said this isn't worth it. So yeah, I get there and they were like an hour and a half behind, and they had 3 people working.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it was a disaster.
Do you have one, Dylan, or do you want me to go? The Burger King bathroom doesn't count. That was someone else's wrongdoing, not the team members.
That one had nothing. There was no fast food service there. That's a story that we will not share.
Well, closed now, so.
But yeah, it is closed now.
Which is a shame.
Not two unrelated events of why there's no relation to why what was done there. That was why it was closed. Oh, great. But no, I'm trying to think. So DoorDash, this is actually just recently, I'm going to get DoorDash on a Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember the day. Doesn't matter. And anyways, I got Arby's because there's not much in Dickinson for restaurants. I was like, you know what? I haven't had Arby's in a while. I have a good beef and cheddar. And get it, and I'm waiting for it to come. And I think I can't remember what else I got, and a chocolate shake. So, you get the notification dings that it's on its way. It's coming. You can see it's approaching to your door. So I'm kind of hanging out watching football, and all of a sudden, and this is also the problem, is they don't ring the doorbell anymore. They just put your food down, take a picture, and leave. So you don't know if you actually get it or not. And the first part is, instead of putting the food on the side, they put it directly in front of the door where you can't open the door.
Perfect.
And then I get it. So I finally get the door. What I had to do is I had to go out through my garage and then go grab it. And then I look and I'm like, this is a Coke. I didn't order a Coke. I ordered a chocolate shake. So I call the guy and I'm like, hey man, this is not my order. And they're like, oh, I'm like, I have what I ordered and this is not it. And he's like, oh, well, I can go back. And then like the guy files a claim or something. And they're like, well, so we really can't do it. I was like, what do you mean you can't do anything? Like, you guys screwed this up. Like, this is what I ordered. You brought you didn't bring. The dasher did not double check, which he should be doing is, making sure everything matches up, but details do not matter anymore in this society. And now I just sound like a boomer and like I
Hashtag
almost
boomers
had
are
to,
soft.
like,
You need the tone.
yeah. And then I finally was like, no, I'm not paying for this. You guys need to be crediting me back or getting me the correct food I wanted. And kept going back and forth with this lady, and she finally, I don't know if she threw the white flag eventually and got me what I wanted. But that's one that really sticks out in my mind as far as how that goes.
Mine goes back to Iowa. This is before Hy-Vee had Wahlburgers. They just had their Hy-Vee breakfast diner, whatever you want to call it. Little restaurant in there. Had a great buffet, by the way. Their tacos, unreal.
Ooh.
But we were there with one of the foster kids we had at the time, and the waitress is bringing all our food over, everything, and like the syrup dispensers, you hold the button down and it you just kind of grab it, and it's like a little cup thing. Probably about 10 ounces, I'd say, of syrup in there. All of a sudden, she has it on the tray. Tray starts falling. As it's falling, the cover to said syrup falls off. The girl had about 10 to 12 ounces of syrup all over her head.
Oh, no.
Oh!
I think hair gel is sticky and hard to get out of your hair. Try syrup.
Like maple syrup or what type of syrup?
Maple syrup.
Oh!
Oh, no.
Oh God!
Well, I thought we were gonna have to shave her head. I legitimately did.
How do you get that out? What do you do?
I don't know what my mom did. Whether it was some sort of special shampoo or what, or just a shit ton of water. I have no idea.
Oh my God!
Just a poor girl.
Disgusting.
It awful.
It was one of the worst and best things I think I've ever seen. It was the same day.
What if there's video of that out there somewhere?
It was the same day. No, that was actually never mind. That was another day. Nope. At the same restaurant, I made Joe try red chili flakes that you put on your pizza.
Oh no!
He puked on the table.
Oh my gosh! That's just soft.
Oh,
he just got to get tougher.
He does. He's gotten a little tougher now.
Can't handle any spice.
Nope.
Oh, that reminds me, guys. There's another Chipotle story here. You're gonna love this. I can't remember where I was at, but I ordered something on the app and they were gonna put it on the to-go shelf. So I walk in there and I'm looking on the shelf. Castor Grant. Nothing there. All right. Pull up my email, make sure that I sent it to the right one. Okay, yep, I'm at the right store. Yep, your order was placed. Okay. The guy goes, hey, can I help you with anything? I say, yeah, I placed an order to be picked up at, I don't know, 1 o'clock, and it's not here. And he goes, oh, what's the name? I told him, Grant Castor. So he goes to the computer. He looks it up. He turns around and he goes to his boss. Hey, someone stole another meal.
That's amazing. I bet that happens a lot.
Oh, yeah. And the way he said it, he just goes like, Jesus, it happened again. Because, they
Was
just
this
put it.
The Crystal one?
Brooklyn Center. So.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Enough said. We don't got to get any more to that. So that's a good way to wrap up the show here. We'll have the segments out on Friday. Check us out on all of our socials. Have my bets for the week on Instagram or on TikTok and YouTube.
Lose money. So get on it.
Yep. I am above 500 for the year right now. I am.
How much money? How much money?
After a rough start to the year, I've battled my way up. I am 20-19 in the NFL picks and 22-19-2 in the NCAA. So overall, 42-38-2. I don't know.
Oh,
hard to say. I don't count. It's not about money.
So you haven't made any.
Because if you made money, you'd know. About money.
Well, it's pretty much even. So I just give out bets, and if you follow the bets, you're gonna win some money. So that's what matters. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.